What would you do if the family that once denied you your dreams came begging for your fortune to save their favorite child? This is the question that haunts Lynn and Gwen, a woman who clawed her way from a small village in Vietnam to the glittering towers of New York City, defying the weight of tradition and the chains of expectation. Lynn was born in a dusty village where the rice fields stretched endlessly under a relentless sun. Her parents, steeped in the old ways, believed a girl's destiny lay in marriage and motherhood, not books. "Girls don't need school," her father would grunt, his voice heavy with finality, as he sent her to tend the fields while her younger brother, Tuan, was tutored for a future they deemed golden. Lynn, barely 10, would sneak glances at Tuan's textbooks, her fingers tracing words she barely understood, her heart burning with a hunger for knowledge. At night, under the flicker of a kerosene lamp, she taught herself to read, stealing moments between chores. Each word was a rebellion, each page a step toward a world her parents couldn't imagine. By 16, Lynn's defiance could no longer be contained. She ran away to Hanoi, her only possessions a tattered backpack and a stubborn dream. She worked as a street vendor, selling sticky rice to survive, while enrolling in night classes. Her teachers saw her fire, her unyielding will, and one, a kind-hearted professor, secured her a scholarship to a university in America. Lynn arrived in New York with nothing but a second-hand coat and a heart full of grit. She studied computer science, her mind a sponge, absorbing code like poetry. Sleepless nights and endless cups of cheap coffee fueled her rise. By 25, she'd built a tech startup from a dorm room, turning it into a multi-million-dollar empire that revolutionized data encryption. Lynn and Gwen became a name whispered in Silicon Valley, a symbol of what a woman could achieve when no one believed in her. But back in the village, her family's world was crumbling. Tuan, their golden son, had fallen into ruin. The boy they'd pinned their hopes on, showered with opportunities Lynn could only dream of, had squandered it all. Gambling debts piled high, his business ventures collapsed under his arrogance, and now he faced prison unless a fortune could buy his freedom. Lynn's parents, who once dismissed her as worthless, tracked her down through news articles lauding her success. They arrived at her Manhattan penthouse, their faces etched with desperation, their hands outstretched. "You're our daughter," her mother pleaded, tears in her eyes. "Tuan is your brother. You must save him. It's family." Lynn stood at the window, gazing at the city she'd conquered. The weight of their words pressed against her chest, stirring memories of a childhood spent invisible, her dreams trampled under the weight of their bias. She remembered the nights she cried herself to sleep, the sting of her father's words, the way her mother turned away when she begged for a chance to learn. Now, they saw her not as a daughter, but as a bank account. The irony was bitter. She, the girl they deemed unworthy, held the power to save or doom their precious son. Her heart wrestled with itself. Part of her wanted to shut the door, to let them reap the consequences of their choices. Tuan had been given everything, yet he'd thrown it away. Why should she sacrifice her hard-earned millions for his mistakes? But another part, the part that still remembered the smell of rice fields and the sound of her mother's lullabies, ached to believe in redemption. Could she forgive them? Could she help without losing herself? In the end, Lynn made her choice. She paid for Tuan's legal defense, not out of duty, but out of a quiet strength that refused to let bitterness define her. She set conditions. Tuan would enter rehab, and her parents would fund a school for girls in their village, a place where no child would hear the words she once did. They agreed, humbled by her grace. Lynn's story isn't just about triumph over adversity. It's about the power of forgiveness and the courage to rewrite the rules. She built more than a company. She built a legacy that proved a girl's mind is as vast as any empire. And in saving her brother, she didn't just save a man. She saved her family from the shadows of their own mistakes, showing them that true wealth lies not in gold, but in the heart that dares to rise.